The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Yeah, I'd say so.
The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
So I kinda had to stop at a place that I've been spending a little too much money at, and the rest is history. Now some of these boxes have been sitting here for a while. That's going to change today, and there's some new ones as well. So for some strange reason, the local Walmart, oh shoot, I said it, around here is going nuts with electronics clearance. So there's all kinds of stuff, and I think they're trying to mix in some slower moving product that's not on clearance, because people see stuff on the table and they think it's clearance priced. I might have fallen for one or two of those, but anyways, I'm not just grabbing stuff as impulse purchases. I actually have serious 5S related plans for a lot of this. And of course I went through the home section and got some stuff to do blue and black attack on the shower curtain in the bathroom, and yeah, I know things are probably picking up when I get back to the 9 to 5, so right, I'm making a little bit of an investment ahead of time while I'm still able to actually have fun. Also, let's finish 5S'ing the lamps by getting rid of that one remaining silver lamp in the kitchen with one of these $7 mainstays jobs. Also, let's 5S the wastebaskets by no longer using a bucket as a wastebasket in the project area for spare parts or little wrappers or whatever that I happen to throw out. That just gets dumped in with the main trash anyways. And then of course the bathroom has a wastebasket too, but it's one of those, you know, one of those pearl white ones. So, blue and black attack. Swap out the one that was there when I got here with one of these, and then, who knows? Yeah, right, enough talking. Let's go through all of this and get it all into place. Here's the result of the end of my experiment with Family Dollar's cheap stuff, aka ratty and rusty, in less than a year. Both the shower hooks and this thing. So, yeah. I think also the color's wrong. That's more beige. It looks like the competing color scheme to what I'm doing is more earth tones with like beige, brown, antique, things like that. You'll see more of that kind of stuff if you look around like Lowe's or Home Depot or something, but Walmart has some of it. Either way, I'm not going for that. I'm going for the blue and black attack, basically. There we go, a little bit more old-fashioned and a little more traditional than just buying some cheap piece of plastic to use as a shower curtain. Traditional curtain plus liner, but this also gives me a few options available that I wouldn't have had with the cheapo setups I've had before. The bathroom in this place has a major problem with humidity because there's no exhaust fan, so you either pop the window or open the door and hope the humidity disperses, and this place is not good at dispersing humidity in the warmer months of the year at least. So, here's the plan. Because we have a nice looking exterior and then a pliable interior with the liner. So, we have the curtain outside of the tub, we have the liner inside of the tub, and then we go in with a pair of scissors and chop off the excess on the bottom. Nobody's going to care because the prettier side will be facing outward, and who's staring at the bottom of a shower liner and trying to get washed up anyways? Oops! Soft white lights in the fixture aside, I forgot that this kind of setup can make things rather dark in the shower. So, yeah. Right, well, let's proceed as planned. Grab the scissors and chop the liner to where it barely goes below the top of the tub. Instead of smushing lots of humid plastic in the bottom, it becomes a breeding ground for mildew, mold, and whatever else. That kind of stuff. Right, I'm also gonna keep a squeezed bottle of vinegar in here to spray everything down afterwards. Who cares? If I make the place smell like a salad, at least you know I'm taking showers. Another good reason to do this sort of thing is that the folds from the thing being folded in the store make for a good cutting guide. So, between those two folds, that would be a good spot to slice everything up. There. The blue and black attack is now extended to the shower curtain and whatever liner happens to be behind it. So the curtain can be washed and the liner can just be replaced, and we'll see how no rust that rod and those hooks are. I also tinkered with the white balance on the camera to basically white balance out the soft white light that's still in this place to give it a kind of a view of what it's going to look like when I switch out the lighting for daylight bulbs. Got some plans for that later on in this whole project. But yeah, there we go. And the only issue, of course, is that the landlord's paint is more ivory white than cold white, so it might look a little bit yellowish in real life with daylight bulbs. That's what I've been seeing in the rest of the house. The guy really should have gone for something more neutral as opposed to something warmer, but hey, it was probably way back before daylight lighting became a thing that he actually went around painting this place. There we go, more 5S progress. All the torch lamps are now the same color. The silver ones are gone. Okay, what's left over here? Well, we've seen these zip-up sleeves before. This is for the project area, for the cables that are always being used, so we'll toss that over there as an IOU. Next up, let's take a look at these Bluetooth receivers. Make every headphone wireless. The Reach by Wicked Audio Bluetooth audio receiver. I just saw these in the electronics clearance, normally like $15 to $20 doohickeys marked down to $9, but what was interesting is that it's basically got a little charge thing. Hopefully the battery's still good, otherwise we gotta figure some other way to power this thing. But the big thing is it has a mini plug, so I know that my AV receiver has a line-in that I could use, so I can add Bluetooth functionality on the cheap that way with one of these things, as long as I supplied some power from somewhere nearby if the battery didn't have any charge left on it. So let's see what each of these does. There we go, little blippo thing with a mini jack as well as a micro USB for charging. So basically I can take those giant headphones that I have, and I think that's a volume control on them and things like that. I can take those giant headphones that I have and basically have my phone broadcast music to them. So yeah, it is kind of a hack job thing or something along those lines, or take some ear things or something along those lines. Another reason why I think those Bluetooth Apple in-your-ear doohickey thingies are overpriced and overhyped when there's far less expensive things like this that can be used to power them and stuff like that. And there's a cable, so if one of them falls out of one of your ears and goes down a sewer pipe, well, no, that's not going to happen because it's kind of connected with a cable and stuff. Nice little belt clip on these too. I imagine that these things were made to be used with headphones, but I'm thinking of using these things with things other than headphones. Even if the battery goes dead and I just have to have them plugged into USB all the time. It's just a unique thing to have. I'll probably have some storage container for these and then just use them wherever. Okie dokie, let's see if we can get these playing on the Logitech speakers over at the project area. I don't care if that just goes on and on. Let's see here. Does it have a 5-second delay for when it turns on? Yep, now it's trying to pair. Bluetooth? Oh, now I got red and blue. Does that mean it saw it? Did that thing just say no charge? Fine, let's get a power bank for it with a micro USB. Let's hear this thing bellyache one more time. Turn that up. How loud does it get? Red and blue, red and blue, red and blue.
Low charge.
Oh, low charge. Okay. It doesn't say this is loudest when it's max volume? Alright, does it...
A tripod might be a good investment, you know.
Shooby-dooby-doo-be-dooby-dooby-doo. This thing should have some charge left on it. I haven't plugged it in a couple of days, but 60-something%. Oh, 50%. That's enough. Is it saying that it's charging? Nice that it talks, though. The last one of these things that I saw would just plain stop working instead of saying, "Hey, charge me up, darn it!" or something to that effect. Let's try that again. Except this time pair it up so it goes through the speakers now that it's getting some charge. It should be able to play and charge at the same time. Unless that's the reason why it didn't sell. Bluetooth, please. Settings. Oh, I gotta exit out of the app in order... Oh, okay. It calls itself a Wicked Reach. That's a cute name. Come on, make some noise, darn it.
Connected.
Oh, forget noise. It actually just says connected. Nice. Okay, so does that mean... Doo-da, 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 doo-da. Oh, I can use this little blurb to keep my phone unlocked. No thanks. Let's see here. Doo-da, 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 doo-da. You're no help if we... There we go. There's just no volume. What do the left and right thingies do? Center button mutes it, I think? Yep. Oh, those are error tones for highest and lowest volume. That's the error that it's maxed out. I wonder if my Bluetooth volume is... Yeah, the Bluetooth volume is low. And it's belly aching about the headphones. Turn down the speakers. There we go. So, the speakers are now maxed out, and this thing can... That's why personal area networks has become a thing in recent years, because what Bluetooth can do nowadays, I mean, that's why we have situations where you have these devices that your phone can serve the purpose of what computers used to do, and computers are becoming enthusiast devices for things like gaming or doing office work or something, but you never know. I mean, if this technology goes a little further and your phone becomes your computer and you just plug it into some doohickey to do your typing and stuff, that's why I was experimenting earlier with the whole Chromecast turning a smartphone into a personal computer type thing. I think it's only a matter of time. Laptops have a little bit of a renaissance right now, but wait until smartphones start catching up. I mean, this thing is already better than the worst netbook that I have, and this is a budget phone. Now, let's see how interchangeable these are. Disconnect, disconnect, power off. Turn this one on. Do they have the same name if you use multiple devices, or do they start auto-numbering with each other? That might be the catch with these things. This one's even deader. Give it some charge then. Turn the block back on, and let's see what happens. There we go. Go. It is not showing up. Is this the one off? Yep. The other two are off.
Low charge.
So it is being treated. It's being treated as a separate device. We'll have to rename these things like 1, 2, and 3, so that way they don't step on each other's toes in the Bluetooth settings. Plus, charge them to full first. Oops. Not used to buying these little Bluetooth gizmos, so I thought this was just packaging, so I went to throw it out. Then just for the heck of it, I tore one of these open to see if it had a manual. It did, and the other one had some charging cables for these things. Oops, almost threw out the charging cables.
Epic fail.
There, brought the jump starter into the equation to charge these things up. I guess, do they stop being red when they're full or something? I don't know what they had for factory charge. I also don't know if I have to cycle these things from full to dead and back. Depends on the device. Lithiums aren't supposed to need that stuff, but I've had kind of varied results. Speaking of which, yeah, little update from earlier. This caddy from the old Pentium 4 doorstop does not fit in the Dellosaurus. I wonder if I could still find some kind of use for it in terms of sliding a drive-in real easily. So, yeah, so I can put Wicked Reach 1, 2, and 3 in there and then just switch between them. I could, theoretically, go in with the label maker as well and put labels on them all to number them all up. So if one goes dead, and I just change to the other one or something. Or I just deploy them wherever. You know, take like speakers that are normally offline and make them Bluetooth with this. So maybe have simultaneous audio, or, you know, send the audio to the kitchen or something if I'm going to be using stuff in the kitchen. But what I'm thinking is keep these around, take a set of headphones, and then just make the headphones Bluetooth to the phone and stuff with these dumb little things. So they even have belt clips if I need them, but yeah, the things that exist nowadays, man, I've come a long way from, you know, the CD player days when I was growing up. Alright, time to stop dating myself. There we go. Now they're powered off and they're all receiving charges. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Actually, one of the things I could do with these is I could hook them up to the USB jacks and some of these new power strips I've been picking up. That'll be a use for them. Plus, black wires. They're already 5S. Up next, this little thing right here. Is it a clock radio? Or is it just an alarm clock? We'll take a look. Oh, no, it says AM/FM radio. So yeah, clock radios and alarm clocks are the sort of things that are falling out of favor in this increasingly smartphone-driven world, at least by people who fall for the marketing that you don't need anything else, your smartphone can do everything. Yes, a phone can serve as an alarm, and with the right equipment, a very loud alarm. However, what if something glitches out? What if your phone locks up? What if it crashes? What if it goes dead for some strange reason? What if something happens to your phone while you're asleep? I still think that it is better to have something dedicated that's not going to be jostled around and that can stay near where you're sleeping, that can be used to wake you up. So, up to this point, I've used Sony Dream Machines, but those things have been discontinued. And one of the things that has become a thing since I've gone back to night shift is I only need an alarm if I sleep in too much. I don't get up with an alarm anymore because I've committed to not having a vampire schedule, so I don't actually need to set alarms anymore. And that's been a heck of a lot of fun. Just have to be disciplined enough to call it shortly after getting home and all that lovely stuff, keep the sleep schedule from getting screwed up. But it's just fun to not get jolted awake with alarm clocks anymore. This thing is basically a small little just-in-case that'll take up less space on the desk from what it looks like anyways. Let's check it out. Oh, look at the little cube. Hey, I knew it was going to be compact, that's why I picked it up. I don't have much use for an alarm clock anymore, but just a little way to check the time from, you know, being asleep and stuff like that. It's higher off the nightstand than the old one would be, and, well, hey, you know, what features does this have? I'm guessing it's stuck as orange, right? It's not like some RGB lighting. Maybe there's a diode I can change to make it blue. I don't know. Oh, let's see here. Up top we have, hey, there's the radio tuner. How do we tune it? Is there a... yeah, there's a little thing on the side. There actually still are knobs and stuff for that sort of thing. And there's AM, FM on the side to select it. Where's the battery backup go? Under here we can see, what does it say that it takes? Oh, it's actually got a lithium... power backup for clock, DC 3 volts. It's a 5-watt device. It actually has a lithium battery 2032, so I don't need to jam a 9-volt into this thing. Sweet! Less things to buy 9 volts for. That's an awfully quiet alarm. Why isn't that louder? Now it's speeding up. Does it ever get louder, though? I think it's one of those gradual alarms where whatever stuff doesn't, like, wake up the whole house. Okay, it's getting faster and faster, but is it going to get louder? I think I might as well just use the radio for this and then put it on like AM or something with like no reception. So, you know, yeah, we're a minute past the alarm time. Man, this thing's wimpy. Yeah, I better put it on radio mode. Put the tuner on AM where there's like nothing whatsoever and it's like, yeah! There we go. Crank the volume on that distortion. So, your alarm goes off, and you get this. This gets really, really good reception. I'm tempted to keep looking for a louder alarm clock and use this when I want to listen to radio, because this thing gets amazing reception. There's AM stations coming in on this thing that I didn't even know we could get around here. On the FM side, though, it's total rubbish. It does use the power cord as an antenna, so I could always do something that way, but FM side, sports. That's it. The sports station is crystal clear, but music stuff, Okay, it gets a second FM station. So it's sports and Sinatra? I was joking about this being some kind of old-school radio, but the AM reception on this thing is actually better than the FM reception. Unless you like sports. I was hoping to buy an alarm clock, instead I buy a cutesy little cube radio. What direction is this channel heading in anyways? Next clearance doohickey, the Memorex projection clock radio, which is supposed to be a 5S time display for the setup. I've got some plans for this. So basically it's black and blue, so the 5S colors, and it projects the time up in the air. So Interesting potential here. Ooh, shipping plastic. Maybe I should leave it on instead of peeling it off. It has the whole cracked screen look that the kids are into. Whatever. So the whole idea that I had for this is basically the descendant of how I tend to have an alarm clock serving as a light-up display somewhere near my main computer. I've been doing that since college. That way I don't have to alt-tab out of a game or pop open the start menu to see what time it is, or hit the overlay on, the way things are today with those overlays for how your graphics card's doing. So I want to have some nice way of seeing the time somewhere nearby, and I just like the color scheme with the black and blue. Shoot, if this thing's good enough, maybe I'll just grab another one for the bedroom and then just, go all V Westlife with this, and like, let's see what's on the radio today, and make some kind of YouTube video where I just spin the dial and listen to various stations or something. Nah, he does enough of that. Plus, he has better, he has more than just dumb little Sony cubes with barely functional alarm buzzers for this sort of thing. Yeah. So, let's see what this thing looks like, what it takes for battery backup. It doesn't have to have a good battery backup anyways, but I'm particularly curious about the projection element of it. We'll dim the lights and get a preview of that once we get it up and running. Another alarm clock that does its backup with a CR2032 instead of having to buy 9 volts for the darn thing. How outdated is my dream machine? Ooh, yes, this is my 5S time display. Most certainly. Not going to be able to deploy it just yet because we've got one more thing we have to do before we can put this into service, but cool. I thought this was some kind of volume knob on top. It's actually the projection doohickey for but it looks like the projection thing is in red. Where's the time? Can we see the time on here? Oh yeah, so it fires up to the ceiling in red. Ah, interesting. I wonder if we could turn it off though, because red's not really my color. Somehow I got a feeling that the tuner in this thing isn't as good as the tuner in the Sony. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read the instructions on this one. It looks like it's 24-hour time right out of the box. And I think it's midnight. Not as plug-and-play as the Sony Cube was, huh? Battery backup, 3-volt CR2032, not included? What, do I have to pull the backup battery out of the Sony Cube to put it in this thing?
Epic fail.
Memorex projection radio alarm clock. I'll wake your up.
Epic fail.
Is this what alarm clocks have sunk to? Sounding like an Atari or a Pong machine? Oh, now it's 2. It's not very loud. The volume's maxed. That's it? Seriously, my Nintendo DS is a better alarm clock than this. Oh, there we go. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Shut up. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but alarm clocks where I come from are supposed to wake you up, even if it means jolting you awake.
Epic fail.
Where did we go so overboard with this whole alarm gradually getting louder thing? Yeah, this definitely doesn't unseat the Dream Machine either, so the search continues. And there's what the projection on the ceiling looks like. Looks like if I want to replace the Dream Machine, I'm going to have to really do some digging on what actually is, well, worth it. Of course, clock radios have been on the defensive for years at this point, but I still think the Nintendo DS could do a better job than this thing. Or that little cube thing. So, cool. I went to buy a clock radio, I bought something that works better as a radio than a clock. And with that, only the big box is left in terms of stuff to go through. But we'll save this for next time. For now, there's one more question that needs to be answered. Now, it looks like the previous tenant who lived in this place before I came out here was a step ahead of me with this LED stuff, because I actually found some great value LED bulbs in some of these fixtures. And not only are they LED bulbs, but they are also suitable for damp locations and suitable for use in totally enclosed luminaries. Now, the GEs that I've been bringing with me have, well, I don't want to call it a heat sink, but the metal part in the middle really gets hot. This thing is not for use in a totally enclosed luminary, so I'm not going to run this for very long. Just long enough to get a picture, to get an idea of what it would look like color-wise, and then we'll go shopping for some kind of Walmart bulb to use as my main fixture, doohickey something or whatnot. So everywhere else in the house, though, the enclosed fixtures are basically floodlights for use when filming, to kind of fill in the light gaps and stuff. I much prefer having regular lamps like the torch lamps, because it's one bulb instead of two, to split hair on power that way. But yeah, so let's load up two of these. These are what, 920 lumens? I think these are either 60 watt equivalents or 75 watt equivalents. I've got 2 lumen counts of these things. I just want to see what happens. We're not going to leave them like this, of course, because they'll get too hot otherwise. But let's load these up at varying levels of light with daylight and see what it looks like in the camera. Yeah, I think this is kind of what we're looking for if we want to go daylight in here. But it's just the shorter wavelength of everything. It's just, meh. It looks, no, the shower curtain does look properly blue, but this is the part where the landlord's ivory-colored paint starts to really look ugly, because it's not neutral white, it's more of a warm white. So you can actually see the difference. If we actually walk over to the shower, you can see the difference in the shades between the shower and the paint that's used on the walls. So yeah, that's the sort of thing. If the entire place was the same color as the shower, even this little grip rod thing coming out of the wall, if everything was painted that shade of white, this would work. But I think the paint in this place predates all of this daylight lighting and LED type stuff, and everything was all soft white. Because, you know, with soft white lighting it doesn't look too bad. But it looks a little yellowish actually, but yeah, well, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna have to take a look and see what's in the Walmart catalog, and specifically look for what is suitable for a fully enclosed luminary. Because we're not just talking about potentially bringing, you know, the blue and black attack to the bathroom. We're also talking about a way to rid this place of CF bulbs once and for all, by setting a 5S standard for daylight bulbs that are going to go in all the ceiling fixtures. Because the ceiling fixtures pretty much should always be daylight lighting. The only reason that we should be using any kind of soft white lighting is for bedroom type, winding down the evening stuff, basically warmer stuff like this. Soft white's probably all over the place, but it's nerds like me that are going with daylight that are just probably driving this sort of thing. Anyways, that's enough tinkering around with stuff. We have almost all of the stuff that's sitting on the table taken care of, and doesn't look like I'm having a yard sale this weekend anymore, so don't want to give that impression. I'm buying this for me, not to like resell it at full price like some jerk. As if the locals around here wouldn't know that oh yeah, that was on clearance 2 days ago. Righto. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.
Want to support the wackiness? Visit patreon.com/multimediajay.